Hi, kindergarten parents. I just wanted to come on here and put a video up for you guys to kind of help you guys with some of your questions you might have about the first week of school and just virtual learning in general, and especially the first day of school as we approach Tuesday. So, first thing I want to say is as we go into this new school year, I know there's a lot more concerns than normal when we are approaching our first day of school, especially for kindergarten. I just want to tell you guys that I'm going to do my best to ensure your kids have an amazing year and that we make awesome memories and have a lot of fun, whether it's virtual, hybrid, or if we even return back to this classroom. So I have kids as well. I am in the same boat as you guys. I am a working parent. I have two girls who are 11 and 13. So yes, they are a little bit older, but they are doing full on virtual as well. So we're kind of doing the same thing with balancing school and home life and our work as well. So I understand where you guys are coming from and trying to balance all that. And I just want to first tell you guys that I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for your kids and for our classroom and just supporting everything that we're doing to make sure that this works out well for them this school year. As for virtual learning, I'm trying to keep it as close of a schedule as to if we were walking into the school doors, like a normal year. It's going to hopefully be a better transition and easier transition for when and if we move to like a hybrid situation after the 9 weeks, or if we fully return to the classroom. So I just want to make sure that it's not going to be like a brand new start when we move to the classroom again from virtual. They'll be able to see some things that are the same that we do. I even have created a interactive virtual classroom for the kids to kind of play with as well, that I have laid out with everything that's the same in my classroom. So like down to the decorations and the layout, for the most part, it looks the same so that they can kind of make those correlations between the virtual classroom that I have for them to look at, as well as our own physical classroom when we go back to those through OPA doors. When you guys came into school for this past week for assessments, I prepared binders for the kids. So those binders that are in those bags with the tablets, not only on the back of the binder have all the login information for if some reason you get logged out, or for some reason like you just forget the login information and things like that, you guys can just scan those barcodes or those QR codes with the tablet and it should pop up the link, and then you just have to put in the class code if you need to. But as we move on throughout the weeks and we introduce new concepts, we'll add more things to those binders. So like right now, it's pretty simple. It's just a lot of tracing their names, letters and numbers, and our alphabet that we use in the classroom, as well as like little counters for them to use too. So there's also a dry erase marker that they can write right on those plastic sheets as well. So inside of those binders, there's also a green folder. I will be putting papers or sending papers home, as well as there's papers in there right now for the kids to do, so that it kind of takes away and lessens some of that screen time that the kids are going to have to be on for instruction, but it also helps them build those fine motor skills that are really, really important, especially in these early ages. Just building up those hand muscles so that they're able to cut and write for long periods of time, and really making sure that they can make those formations in letters by building up those hand muscles and that coordination. As for the first day of school, it is Tuesday, September 8th. So after you guys enjoy this whole Labor Day weekend, we'll get started on that Tuesday. The school day is going to be from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m., which is our standard day anyways, if we were to walk into OPA doors. So we're required by the state for them to log specific hours and time for them to qualify as a normal school day. So we're going to stick with the 9 to 4. Even though our school day starts at 9 o'clock, kindergarten will not start like actual instruction from me until 9:15. So that time from 9 o'clock until 9:15 would be just the same as if we were walking in through the doors of OPA. That's the time that kids are arriving to school, getting their breakfast, and coming to the classroom, getting their things all settled and completing or finishing their breakfast. So the same thing goes for at home. From that 9 o'clock to 9:15 slot, you guys are going to be able to eat your breakfast, kind of get yourself situated, and make sure that you guys are going to be able to log on to Google Meet for that first whole class instruction at 9:15. As for all of our live instruction, it's going to be through Google Meet. That is going to have to be installed on your tablets. I didn't realize until Thursday that the tech company did not install those onto those tablets. So the easiest thing you need to do is on the front, or I guess the home page, you would call it, on your tablet. There's something that kind of looks like a triangle. It's called Google Play. Just type in Google Meet, and it almost looks like a green circle, and it should just be called like Google Meet, secure meetings, things like that. So if you just download that for me, that would be super helpful for me. I'm sorry I didn't do that earlier, and I didn't notice by Thursday. Also, the covers on the tablets, we realized we're covering not only the front camera, but also the back camera. So on some of the tablets on Thursday, I was able to start cutting them, just so that the kids won't have to worry about taking them out of the covers and putting them back in the covers and worrying about possibly breaking the tablets or things like that. So you are more than welcome to cut a little square off the front of it, as well as on the back of the tablet, because they're going to need that back camera too sometimes to submit assignments on Seesaw. So that will just make it easier for them. So it's really easy. The cover is made of like a rubber material, so it should be really easy to cut with just normal scissors. Let's see. I am going to be including a schedule along with this post. Obviously, this is a plan for right now of how we will run our normal day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesdays are the teacher meetings days. So those days we will not have live instruction. I may include pre-recorded instruction and activities for them to do throughout that day too. But I just wanted to warn you that Wednesdays are kind of like a catch-up day. Also just time for them to either rewatch instruction that we had recorded previously, or follow up on other lessons that we had gone over. Maybe they're having a little bit more difficulty and things like that. That's also a good time for you guys to, send me emails of if you guys are struggling with anything. I could probably pop in between my teacher meetings to do maybe one-on-one tutoring that day if you guys are really struggling with a concept or things like that. As for the most common question that many of the parents are asking me, they're asking me if they have to sit with their kids all day long from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And they're like, how is that going to happen? I have to work. I guess the best thing I have been telling families is if you send your kids to kindergarten, they're usually coming in by themselves and you're not expected to sit with them all day long either. So as much as I would appreciate your help to get them on their tablets and obviously be nearby if they need any assistance with technology or things like that during our meets. For the most part, you can pretty much keep them on the tablet, and I'll keep eyes on them and make sure they're engaged and treat it as if it's a normal classroom. So the biggest thing is just we want them to build independence in getting their work done and making sure that they learn the rules and expectations of their classroom, which we're going to go over the first week as well anyways. So you'll find that with the platforms that we're using and going over the rules daily and things like that, you'll find that they actually probably won't need your help too much even after the first week. They'll already know how to log on to Google Meet. They're going to know how to get onto Seesaw and things like that. And when it comes to those different activities that they need to do on Seesaw, I provide a live like video and instruction and examples and how to complete things, as well as voice recorded instructions. So really, I'm trying to make it so it is very much them doing their work and being independent and trying to complete the task on their own. But I mean, of course, if you guys need help, or they need help, they're more than welcome to have you guys sit next to them if they need you to sit there for a little bit, but don't feel that you are expected or required to sit by them by any means. Let's see. Some other things I want to just kind of touch upon is, so the other question that I've been getting a lot of is, what happens if I can't log on to the live lessons? All the live lessons will be recorded as we are doing them. So just be aware that obviously it's best if your kids can participate in those live lessons, because then they can interact with their peers, interact with me. I can ask them questions and they can practice answering with me as well. But if I understand that every family has a different situation, I understand like things happen. So if there's a reason why they can't go to the live lessons, they will be recorded and they will be posted so that your student can watch it at a later time, and then they can do the required activities that go along with the live lesson as well. But once again, I do highly encourage them to participate in the live lessons if they're able to. Like I said before, all assignments are going to be given on Seesaw or in paper form, which are going to be in the folders and their binders. So all that should be ready to go. If it isn't working, once again, you can just scan that little barcode on the back of the binder for all the login information. Finally, I'm sorry, this is a lot of information and a lot to kind of absorb. But the last thing I want to just let you guys know is, like I mentioned, I created a virtual classroom for the kids to kind of interact with. So it's also a class website. So this is going to be your hub for kindergarten information for our classroom. It has newsletters that I'm going to be posting. It has information about me. It has resources that you guys can use that we don't typically always use every single day, that they can get extra practice, as well as the ones that we are using in the classroom, such as Seesaw or Freckle or Splash Learn. Links to those will be provided on that website. There's also going to be an interactive classroom, like I said, which have links to like songs and activities and games. And it kind of looks like our classroom, which is kind of cool as well. And then finally, there's a parent portion on there too, where it's called online forums. If I could get you guys to all log on to it, that'd be super helpful, because there are 2 forms on there that I need from you guys. One is a social media release form, just so that I know where I can post your child's photo or their work or their first name. I'm never ever going to put their first and last name together. It'll always just be their first name and maybe your first or last initial. But that's the most that we'll post if we need to. And it's also a place where you can just completely deny any right for me to post anything about your student as well. You have all the right to do that as well. The other form is the one that I find really useful for myself, because it is a student survey. So you tell me, the person who knows the most about your child, everything that you can inform me to help them with their instruction. So, tell me their favorite things, their strengths, their weaknesses, how they learn the best, things that you want them to learn by the end of the year, things that, that might help me guide my instruction to personalize their learning in our classroom, especially with virtual. So that's going to be your place to put all that information that you want me to know about your student. So if you could just fill one of those in for both yours or any of your students, I know we have twin boys, so like if you could fill one out for each boy. So yeah, that'd be super helpful for me, and no one else sees it. Once you push that submit button, it goes straight to my account, and no one else gets to see that information as well. As for the website, I have tried to change it so that you don't have to log on with any specific account, but it may ask you to sign in with a Gmail account or a Google account. If you don't have one already, you can always sign up for one because they're free. Eventually, we will be getting Gmail accounts and email accounts for the kids. We're just working on tech to get those back to us. So we should be getting those in the next 2 weeks or so. I'm hoping. I just emailed them again about it today, seeing if we can speed up the process and get them those email accounts. So that's where I would be emailing them and you guys about that information that I need to. That's important as well. This email account that I will be sending out to you guys eventually, once I get all the information, that's going to be something that stays with them for the entire time that they're at OPA. So if they're here with us until 8th grade, that's going to be the same account that they're going to have from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. It's going to help with them in the higher grades too, because they use Google Classroom, which correlates with those two accounts, with the Google account and the Classroom account. So just some things to kind of let you guys know. I just appreciate so much your flexibility and your patience and support that you've already shown me, just even in the last couple of weeks, just coming in for testing and trusting me with your kids, even when this crazy time that's so uncertain and no one has ever been through this before, and there's so many questions and things like that. So I truly appreciate your support and flexibility, and especially your patience during this time. And if you guys have any other questions for me or any concerns, feel free to either send me a Blooms message, or if you need to, you can either call or text me. You guys all have my phone number as well. All right. Well, I hope this is a great start for our new year at OPA, and I can't wait to get to know your kids even more so starting on Tuesday. Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.